this overload.
Close that thing good.
Slam it down, it breaks.
The Muni code is gonna be a roll call vote. That's the one thing I missed.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for our regularly scheduled council meeting at 7 p.m., February 24th, 2026. Ms. Clerk, please call the roll.
Charlie Davidson, John Wells,
Here.
Linda Westhafer,
Here.
Charles Schwenke,
Here.
Terry Osborne,
Here.
Troy Hill,
Here.
Brandy Bailey, Jim Schrader.
Here.
Council President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bailey let me know that she is on a work engagement. And of course, the mayor is out of town for business as well. So therefore, I am in the hot seat, as they say. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. On our agenda next is our invocation and pledge of allegiance. Pastor Bob Darnell, is going to lead our invocation, and I will lead the pledge. Please stand.
Good evening, Council. Heavenly Father, we come this evening before you, God. Lord, matters that are to be weighed and voted upon, decisions that are to be made. Lord, you said in your word, Father, Lord, if we lack wisdom to ask, and you give it to us liberally. So Lord, as this council weighs the matters of this evening's meeting, Lord, let them decide, Father, Lord, on the equality of all of Park City. Lord, let them be blessed, Father. Lord, in those things that they say this evening, God, I pray. Lord, let it be words, Lord, of encouragement, words of building up this community. In your name I pray, Heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Do I have a approval of the agenda? Troy?
I'll approve the agenda.
Jim?
I'll second it.
A motion by Troy, second by Jim to approve the agenda. All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed? Same sign. Motion carries 6-0. Awards and presentations. We have the 2025 Officer of the Year presentation.
Mr. Council President and council members, my privilege this evening to recognize Sergeant Keith Goodall as the Park City Police Officer of the Year for 2025. This past year required a great deal of leadership, flexibility, and commitment behind the scenes. For a significant portion of 2025, Sergeant Goodall stepped into an expanded role during the extended absence of a member of our command staff. Without hesitation, he assumed many of these command-level responsibilities to ensure the department continued to operate smoothly and efficiently. While continuing to supervise his own personnel, he took on oversight of 2 patrol shifts in the Code Enforcement Division, supervising 9 employees in total. He adjusted his schedule to provide consistent leadership, coverage, and routinely handled phone calls, meetings, and operational decisions outside of his normal duty hours. Quite simply, he filled the gap when the department needed him the most. In addition to daily operations, Sergeant Goodall attended command meetings, responded to critical incidents in an on-call command capacity, helped onboard new officers, managed vehicle logistics, and led the transition to our new in-car and body-worn camera systems. Those are substantial responsibilities individually, and he carried them simultaneously. What stands out the most, however, is not just the workload, it's the spirit in which he carried it out. He remained steady, positive, and supportive of his fellow officers and committed to serving this community with professionalism and integrity. He has been a dependable leader and a strong example for those he supervises. Sergeant Goodall embodies the values of this department: honor, integrity, and service to the people of Park City. It's my honor to present Sergeant Keith Goodall, as the Park City Police Department's 2025 Officer of the Year.
Gonna get me in the background here. Did you want to get one up, you want to get one up here in the front and center? Scoot up out of the way. Yeah.
Those guys just want to make sure they run the
Dan, I
picture.
got it? Okay. Okay, next is public forum. We did not have anyone sign up for public forum this evening, so we will move on to staff reports. Dana, do you have anything for us this evening? No staff
sir.
report this evening?
No, sir.
Very good. Takes us to the consent agenda. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Troy,
I move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Jim.
I'll second that.
Troy moved to approve the consent agenda, seconded by Jim. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes 7-0. And we have one item for old business this evening. Doug, you're up.
President and Council, I'm back again, third time, and I promise you won't see this again. This is the identical ordinance that you adopted last meeting after some explanation about how we had phrased it incorrectly when we got some advice from the Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission. The problem this time was that I put the wrong municipal code section in there. The ordinance you adopted last week referenced section 11-217 of the code. That already exists and deals with the theft of catalytic converters. So the only change in this is to change 11-217 to 11-218, and hopefully that puts a stake in this vampire ordinance. I would recommend that you approve it.
Jim?
I don't really have any questions, so I would move to approve ordinance 1234-2026.
Charlie?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. This is a roll call vote. Ms. Clerk?
John Wells,
Aye.
Troy Hill,
Aye.
Linda Westhafer,
Aye.
Charlie Davidson,
Aye.
Terry Osborne,
Aye.
Jim Schrader,
Aye.
Charles Schwenke.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. On to new business. First is to discuss and consider appointments to the Community Relations Board. We all received an application for the Community Relations Board from William Tipping for a term expiring January 2028. And entertain a motion to approve. Charlie?
I move to approve the appointment of William Tipping as a member of the Community Relations Board with a term expiring in January 28.
Jim?
I'll second it.
Motion by Charlie, seconded by Jim. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Next item, discuss and consider approval of site plans for Lot 3, Block A, Park Center Edition, Lancaster Square Senior Apartments, Mennonite Housing. Dana?
Thank you, sir. TCRS LLC and Mennonite Housing, Inc., the owners and developers of the subject property are requesting approval of site plans for a senior apartment residential development within the Park Center addition. This project proposes 21 one-bedroom apartments and 29 two-bedroom apartments within a two-story building. The subject property is approximately 3.2 acres and is located north of Stewart Drive, across from the new Park City Senior Center. The surrounding properties adjacent to the apartments are zoned DD Downtown District, with several parcels zoned C1 Central Business District further to the north along 61st Street North. The subject property is zoned DD Downtown District, and a site plan review is required by the district. All projects are to be recommended by the Planning Commission and approved by the City Council. The City Council's approved Park City Master Plan, which is attached, shows the subject property as appropriate for senior living apartments. There is no identifiable cost to the city in approving the site plans. Staff finds the proposed residential project meets the spirit and intent of the DD Downtown District standards and recommends approval of the project.
Thank you. Council, any discussion or questions? Charles?
I do have a question. It appears that the entrances are staggered around the outside, so you don't have a direct entry into your apartment. Is that correct?
It appears that way, yes. did you want to come up and answer questions? We do have someone in the audience this evening that can address
Yes,
specific questions.
There's main entrances on the backs and on the front, and then there's hallway corridors with 50 different entries into units.
Okay, will there be elevators for the second story, or are those?
Yes, there will be one elevator.
One elevator? So that'd take you up to the upper hallway then?
Correct.
Just trying to figure that out in my mind. So if a guy's living in the, so each apartment has a floor level and an upper level portion to their,
No, there's single apartments on the lower level, and then there's single apartments on the upper level, but none of them consist of the first and second.
okay,
combined.
all right. That's better, that's great, okay. That answers my question.
Okay.
Okay. Troy?
Do we have an approximate, I know we're doing some approval. Actually, I'll hold that question. I just think this is a great idea. I think it's needed in the city, and I personally am excited for this, so. If nobody has any further questions, I would approve site plan as presented per staff comments.
John Wells?
A second.
All right, we have a motion by Troy and a second by John to approve site plan as presented. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Item 3, discuss and consider approval of the Briarbrook 5th Edition, a one-step final plat for property located south of 93rd Street, north, and east of Broadway Avenue. Dana?
Thank you, sir. Murdoch Properties LLC, the owner and its agent Kirk Miller, K.E. Miller Engineering, PA, are requesting approval of a final plat entitled Briarbrook 5th Edition. The applicants are replatting a portion of Briarbrook 2nd Edition, lots 1 through 13, Block A, into a total of 20 lots along the west side of Hidden Lane within the undeveloped residential subdivision. The subject property totals approximately 2.6 acres in size and is currently zoned GC General Commercial District. The application area is surrounded by undeveloped single-family residential project to the south, east, and west. A similar request, Briarbrook 4th Edition, was approved by the Planning Commission during its July 21st, 2025 meeting. The subject property was part of a larger zone change to the GC General Commercial District approved in June of 2024, with the land immediately surrounding the application area platted for residential uses. The remaining unplatted property east of Briarbrook's 2nd Edition will potentially develop with commercial and industrial uses along the interstate. The subject property will be served by public infrastructure, and the drainage plan for the project is approved. There is no identifiable cost to the city approving the final plat. Staff recommends approval subject to the conditions that are in your packet.
Council, any discussion, questions? Jim?
Honestly, don't have any questions, so I would move to approve the plat as presented and per staff comments.
Do I hear a second? Linda?
I would second.
We have a motion by Jim, a second by Linda to approve the final plat as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Item 4, discuss and consider approval of water line lowering from Apex Excavating LLC. Gina?
Good evening, President and Council. During work on the Phase 1 Stormwater Drainage Project, several water lines have been identified as needing lowered in order to place the new box culverts within the drainage channel. These locations include Evanston, West Parkview, East Parkview, Hydraulic Avenue, and Randall Drive. Staff is proposing to replace, lower, and upsize to an 8-inch water line from a 4-inch water line in all 5 of these locations. However, this request is only for the Evanston crossing. This upsize and replacement is consistent with our annual program to replace aging and outdated water lines and is proposed to be paid from such. The total cost of this is $36,265. Staff is recommending approval of the estimate from Apex Excavating, and this is a budgeted item to be paid from the utility fund. And I stand for any questions you may have.
Jim?
Gina, I'm probably asking the obvious question here, but okay, we're up, I think you said it, but we're updating the water lines as part of an overall plan in these areas. And what we're updating here, I note the size increase in the water line, that'll be consistent with what we will go upstream or downstream with eventually, so that we don't have to touch this again, basically.
That's correct. Now's the time to do it while we have those box structures out, because we won't have to battle trying to either locate on one side or other of the structure. We can actually locate underneath it before we put that structure back in.
Okay,
So
it's,
all of these locations are crossings in that drainage ditch where you hit the roadway.
and that was the original case, was just the water lines weren't deep enough to go under these culverts.
Right, we were hoping we wouldn't have conflicts. We obviously had the same issues on the other phase of this
Yeah.
project, and so we did anticipate it. Once they started potholing and they actually hit the first line, that's when we had our water main break over there on Evanston. After that, they potholed and found that the other 4 locations are not deep enough to give us adequate coverage on the water line before placing that box on top of it.
Okay, well, at least we understand it now, we've identified it, and we're gonna redirect some money that we're gonna spend anyway and correct
Correct.
a good portion of a problem here now. So I really don't have any questions. I'll wait in case there's other comments. Well, then I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the change order with Apex Excavating in the amount not to exceed $36,265 to be paid out of the utility fund.
John?
I second.
Motion by Jim, a second by John to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. Item 5, discuss and consider approval of change orders from Dondlinger Construction. Gina?
During the final walkthrough inspection on the Phase 2 stormwater drainage project, a couple of design errors were discovered. This included undersized drop structures and a drastic drop-off from the sidewalk to the cross-structure head wall at Mobile Drive. Had the issues been discovered during plan review and included in the original bid, the cost would have been included in the total contract amount. However, it is now needed to be added as a change order to the project. In speaking with JEO, they acknowledged that there are additional mobilization costs due to the engineering error and have agreed to reimburse the city the cost being charged by Dondlinger for the remobilization to do those repairs in the amount of $21,500. Included in here is change order 5, which is $15,475 to cover the cost of making the cross-structure head wall taller at Mobile Drive, allowing for a more gradual slope of the ground and reducing the drop-off. Change order 6 is $163,560 and covers the cost to pour additional concrete around the 12 drop structures to reduce the erosion and to size and shape them the way they should have originally been designed. The total cost of the change orders are $179,035, with $21,500 of that being reimbursed to the city. Staff does recommend approval of the change orders with Donlinger Construction. This is a budgeted item to be paid from the Capital Projects Fund, and I do stand for any questions you may have.
Questions, discussion? Jim?
I don't have any questions on this one. It's unfortunate we have to spend the extra money, but I understand why, and it was good that there was a discount applied on it, which helps with the bleeding a little bit. So I would move to approve the change order with Dodlinger Construction in the amount not to exceed $179,035 to be paid to the Capital Projects Fund.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Troy?
Second.
We have a motion for Jim and a second by Troy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Tina. Item 6, discuss, consider, and approve our budget calendar. D.
Good evening. Put me last. Just real quickly before I go to the budget calendar, I would like you all to, there is a budget for the 2026 budget in front of you, the book. Most of you were here for the actual creation of the budget, so you know that part. But in front, there's also a story about what's happened in Park City, and I think it's kind of interesting, and Sean does too, so just might want to flip through that sometime and take a glance at it. Okay, for the budget calendar. Your agenda packets include a copy of the proposed 2027 budget calendar, and the dates have been set to comply with the required submission timeframes. In addition to the regular council meeting dates, we're proposing 3 special council meetings, the same number that we had last year. The special meetings are budget work sessions scheduled on June 9th, July 14th, and July 28th, and dinner will be provided for each of those 3 meetings. If you'll notice, due to a scheduling conflict again this year, the June 9th work session is on the same evening as a regular city council meeting. This is the first work session of the budget process in which each of the department heads present their initial budgets and respond to your questions, and it's typically a pretty lengthy meeting. We've therefore set the work session to start at 5 o'clock, subject to council concurrence with the budget calendar tonight, which would provide 2 hours of presentations prior to the start of the regular council meeting. Sean will request that the department heads keep any agenda items they have short and sweet so we can get in and get back into the work session. So once the meeting is over, we go back to work session and finish the presentations. So staff recommends approval of the budget calendar. However, I would like to caution you a bit, be aware that there's a lot going on with the legislature, and there's a very good chance some of this might get changed. So we're proceeding as if it stays the same, but we don't know that it will, so.
Questions for D? Charlie?
I move to approve the 2027 budget calendar.
Troy?
I second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Troy to approve the budget calendar. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you.
Calendar approved. All right. The item of the agenda we've all been looking for, governing body reports. I'll start off this time. I usually get left to last, so. Actually, I'm excited about tomorrow afternoon with the senior center. I hope it is open to the public, so please feel free to attend and see our beautiful new senior center, and it's going to be an awesome facility. Charles?
Yeah, I'm looking for a pretty good crowd at the senior center tomorrow. I think it will draw a lot of people, and I think a lot of people will be shocked at what a great job has been done on it. And also, I'd like to reiterate the congratulations to Sergeant Keith Goodall. If you keep track of the police reports that we get in our email every week, that's a busy job, very busy job for both you and your sergeant. So I congratulate him, and hope we have another one next year.
All right, Linda?
I won't be at the senior center. What time is it tomorrow, just for those who don't know?
3.
It's 3 p.m.
Wednesdays are meeting heavy for me and my day job, so I won't be there tomorrow, but I do know people that are attending, so it should be exciting for everybody. Also was going to say congratulations to Sergeant Goodall. Job well done. Appreciate the hard work from that team as well.
John?
They've already covered it.
I know.
Yeah.
Probably
Charlie?
going third.
I'm with John.
Okay. Okay, Troy?
Yeah, they pretty much said everything everything I would have said,
All right, Jim?
other than,
Yep, go ahead.
great job, Terry.
Jim?
My only comment is whoever's in charge of the city building lights looked really nice tonight, driving up with the red, white, and blue. So that was striking, and I enjoyed seeing that. So thanks to whoever adjusted those over for the day.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Troy. Do I hear a second?
Second.
By Jim. Motion by Troy, second by Jim. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 7-0. We are adjourned.